Hi, welcome. I didn't even see a couple people already joined. This is Epic Bricks. Welcome. We'll just jump right into it. It's too loud. Okay, get rid of this red brick. Go to my gray. Now above these arches is just some simple textured bricks, the same ones I've been using. Maybe three bricks high or 4 bricks high. So I'll start building those. Turn this up a little bit. Turn this down a little bit. And since it's a real simple portion, I can talk a little bit. But you know what? Before I get too deep into it, I'm going to change the music. What's running in the background now is actually really awesome. It's the soundtrack to the MMO game Lord of the Rings Online, which was a really awesome, fun game. Developed by Turbine. I think it was published by Midway. I played it pretty seriously for several months. And one notable thing about that game was just the... let me work out one wall first, before I get ahead of myself. One real cool thing about that game was just the great soundtrack. So when I got the game, when it finally went gold, because I was in like early release, I was playing before it was out. It was really fun. I made sure to get like the special edition, so I paid extra 20 or 30 or 50 bucks or whatever it was to get the special edition. And one of the nice features is this soundtrack. And so here it is, years later. I figured, this would be nice to listen to while I build this. It is Lord of the Rings, after all. Officially licensed content. So how high do I want to go with that? Yeah, at least 3. I'm looking at the model on my other screen. So I'm going to compare it to the height of these arches below. Okay, I think I see what it is. It's actually pretty dang tall. It's taller than this, I realized. Because in the model, this kind of textured area is taller, all said and done. Oh, but see, they start putting in those things. I'm not going to put them there. Yeah. That section is about as tall as this whole thing. So this is 4, and I really have to decide if I want to go 5. Let's put on one more. I got to change the music. I have another cool soundtrack. I actually had to climb into my garage and pull out boxes and bins in order to find it. And I wasn't sure if I'd find it, but I found it. Okay. Let me just finish this section, decide. Is it going to be 4 or 5? Let's just see 5. And by the way, I mean, first of all, if, you know, you're totally welcome to ask questions and stuff in chat, and I welcome that. Just please forgive me, because I only look over my shoulder at the chat feed. I'm going to put a little teeny monitor. I have a small, like, USB monitor. I'm going to put it down in the corner of my screen here on my desk so I can see the chat feed, so so it doesn't take me so long to respond. But please forgive me if it takes... Come on, am I going to cute? That's too tall. That does not look good. I mean, you know what? I'll leave it at 4, and I'll do the stack of 4 all around, and then I'll decide if I want to do one more. It's no problem. So hit Z to undo. So we'll just go at 4, and I'll just start building, and that'll take a couple minutes, and I can talk during that. But before I do that, I'm going to switch the music. So stand by while I flip CDs. Yep, real CDs. Alright, let's see how this one sounds. There we are. This one should also be a little bit nostalgic for me. Perfect. Oh yeah. This is doing it for me. Now I feel inspired. Now I feel like I can finish ORTHANC tonight. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. What I should do is I should get some of those Microsoft credits or something. So I'm new to the Twitch game. Come on. I literally created this account I think last week. I'm a longtime gamer, not a hardcore gamer, just a longtime gamer. A longtime, you know, technology person. Long time. I've played the earliest consoles. I own the earliest consoles. I own the earliest personal computers and played those too. But I've kind of laid low in the whole YouTube scene and Twitch scene and for a long time. But now there's kind of a reason to start doing this. I'm developing like a Lego related product, like kind of an accessory that's going to be really cool and really exciting, I think, for serious Lego people who do like mock building, or just even normal people who just value playing Lego. But I haven't announced it yet. I will later. If you're interested in that, you can definitely follow the feed. Follow all the feeds. You know, follow me on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. And I do have a blog where I'm kind of putting everything there. The store will be up there. Okay, where'd my brick go? But anyways, so Twitch. I'm new on Twitch, but I've been, you know, online for a long time, since the beginning. Since 1200 baud modems, okay? Maybe even 300 baud. And I'm kind of watching some of the other kind of Twitch pros out there. Watching and learning. And what was my question? It was something about the chat. Anyways, oh yes, I remember now. It had to do with this music. I'll talk about the editing and the bricks and all that in a few minutes, but probably most of you, anyone watching this already knows about that. Anyways, but what I should do, one thing I did learn from these other Twitch veterans. I gotta pump up this mic. I gotta put some compression on here, or some limiting or something, some processing on this microphone. It's just a raw mic with no processing right now. It's a good mic, but. So what these other guys do is, I guess they reward their loyal followers with cash. They pay them off with cash, with I guess Microsoft Live credits or something, or game codes or this and that. Now, obviously, I don't have anything like that today, but who knows? I could have something like that tomorrow. So why do I mention that? Because I would give a code to someone who could identify this soundtrack. If you're a gamer for the last, no, you'd have to be gaming for at least 10 years, I think, to know this soundtrack. I'm really bad with dates, so I can't remember when games came out and stuff. Anyways, I'm not going to make you guess. It's EverQuest 2. Well, I've been talking about EverQuest a little bit as being the original EverQuest I talked about earlier today, about being kind of just a pivotal game. It was, in my mind, the first real game to really embody the spirit. What is that down there? I assume that's just a Now I can't see it. Or is it over here? It's just like a flower or something on the landscape. There it is. It is. It's just a flower. But I saw it and I said, what is that? I still want it. Let's get out of this mode. Oops. No, it doesn't work. This is bugged kind of a little bit. Yeah, it should click and it should take you out of bat mode, and it doesn't. Really the only way I figured out how to do it is just switch models. Or I can even do this guy. I like this guy better. What am I? Oh, he's supposed to... Oh no, am I bugged? Let's see. Oh, good. No. Yay. Where's that flower? Isn't that funny? I just saw this thing from a distance and I wanted it. Do I have it? I have it! It just looks so interesting. Okay, do you have stuff like this in Minecraft, guys? And that's just one little stupid detail. Look at that. It's all legitimate Lego pieces, all legitimate geometry, all legitimate physics. Even the landscape satisfies that. This landscape is obviously procedurally generated, but it's all legit still. It all makes physical sense. All these bricks. Now, can I pick... I can't remember if I can pick each individual brick up. I don't think you can. I think you... But you can destroy it, and you can... maybe you can on the world building. I'm getting distracted right now. I'm not gonna dwell here. There's some way you can pick up... You can add... Forget it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to get bothered here. I'm totally getting distracted. Let's focus, Mr. Bricks. So why am I in the bat mode? I've explained it 3 times already, but anyone who's just joining us, I have 6 people. Hi. Does the camera randomly zoom in and out too? No, the camera does not randomly zoom. Well, actually it depends. In the regular minifigure mode, like right now, you cannot. You can rotate it, like rotate it around like I'm doing now. You cannot zoom it in and out. So like sometimes I like to do these screenshots, you know, get a nice good close up of my dude. But like right now, I'm totally slamming the or sliding around on the mouse wheel, and it's not doing anything. The way I would get around it is like, if you get into the landscape here, see how I forced it to move forward, and I would just so that's how I do it close up. But that's just a workaround. There's no way to zoom in. Okay, now that said, you can move the camera. You can move the camera when you're in building mode, but there's in the default building mode. Like actually now's a good opportunity to show you. Look at my little pet dragon. One funny thing about the dragon is that I spawn him and he's not disappearing, and I log out of the game and close the game and he's still there. And there's the other one. But another vehicle that I did that with is not there. Now these are creatures. So maybe creatures behave differently. And the only reason I spawned a second one was because one was like stuck in the tree. So now I still have 2. And there's no cost for spawning them. I wonder if I just spawned 1,000,000 dragons in one land. It would be really, really funny. Okay, anyway, so let me show you the flaw. It's not really a flaw, it's just kind of an annoyance. Or maybe it really is a kind of... Not tools, this one, not the bricks. Okay, so I just hit the... I'm into the brick building mode. And right away, like, he's holding this cool... I like the concept that he's holding like a tool. That's really fun. But look. Okay, so he can truck up and down, or dolly up and down, which is really good. Look at it, it's making good progress here. But once you're getting in there and building, it's like, okay, dude, like, and I'm trying to look at something, like some detail, it's like, fine, like, now I gotta get you out of the way. And then sometimes you have, like, his shining light, the beam of light shooting out of his gun, like, just out of nowhere, like, you'll be looking at some detail, and then you'll have this light in your face. And it gets particularly annoying, like, when it's dark, and you can't see your bricks, and it's like, it gets to be an annoyance. Okay, so what's the workaround? Flip to... If you can find the vampire. I have to exit out of this mode, and he has to drop down. You spawn your vampire. Vampire has a special ability. Close this menu. Special ability is flying. in a bat mode right here. Click that. He turns into the bat. You take a few clicks to gain some altitude, and then you can just hold it down. Okay, so why is that different? Because the camera acts totally different, or significantly differently, when you start building in this, when you're in the bat, as the bat. Now, I don't know if they did that on purpose, or if this is just a bug, or if that's a feature, or what. Or if this is just a kind of a coincidence, really. But I learned about this from chat, from you guys here on Twitch. Funrear, guy, I think that's what his name was, Funrear Wolf. I don't know if you're on now, buddy, but thanks again for the tip. So once you're in this mode, there's an advantage and a disadvantage. Once you start building, he doesn't fly in your face. Huge advantage, right? And so when you move the camera around, oh, see, for some right away you zoom out. I don't know why it does that. It's okay. Right away you start moving around. There he is. He's not flying. He stays stationary. So that's like a big help. Okay, let's start building. I'll talk more. The disadvantage is, and unfortunately there is a disadvantage, is this. Let's say I want to move the camera down, straight down, not tilt it down, but move the camera down, float it down. You cannot do that when he's in the bat, as the bat. So it's just quirky little things that... Is this the right pick? There you go. Quirky little things. Good, shift lock is still on. That, you know, people are kind of learning and getting around, and I'm sure Lego is going to update. Come on. It's 2 weeks old tomorrow, so it's not even 2 weeks old yet. Or is it today? I can't. I mean, it was released and announced June 1st. So you do the math and you do figure it out. You look at your calendar and tell me. It's essentially 2 weeks old. It's really young. It's in beta. And only people with PC can access it. And only people with a decent, beefy PC can play it and stream it. Because even my PC, which is pretty powerful, it's a few years old, but when I built it, it was close to top of the line. Not top of the line, but close. But still, by today's standards, it's good. But when I turn the stream on and stuff, and I'm running this at pretty much a full resolution, like right now it's fine. The mouse, I don't see really drag on the mouse. But occasionally when I just launch it, I see some like little latency. I assume it's my machine. Okay, we're almost done with that layer. So next, I think we're going to have to get a little more creative going up. Let's see. Oops. That first brick is always tricky. If you don't move exactly the right way, you risk dropping one where you don't mean to. So I have two dragons walking around. And they're persistent, and there's no way to unspawn them. Oh, actually there is. That's funny. I can kill them. I can destroy them, or I can just fight them, and it would take, I think it probably takes eight or less clicks. That's funny. I'd have to fight them to get rid of them. Okay, where's my tea? Oh, here it is. So what do you think of the soundtrack? It's kind of cool. Mint tea. Alright, so I'm just making sure I'm not missing any bricks. So again, let me evaluate, now that I have a nice full sun here, if I want to go higher now. When I tried it, I didn't really like it. So let me bring up the model again. I mean, this almost sounds like Lord of the Rings music, right? But it's not. But it's like, you know, that fantasy genre. Okay, we're way up there. Wow, we're making great progress. One good advantage of getting higher is that the tower is getting narrower, so there's less bricks to manage. Now, the amount of detail is not decreasing, but just the volume of bricks is decreasing, so naturally the time will go down. Okay, so here we have like a little ledge. So again, the height of this area is about the height of that. And that height of that is small. It seems there's so many optical illusions going on. That's another problem with this design. I mean, the original model. It's genius. Search on Google, you know, just ORTHANC, and you'll find it, what I'm looking at. And it's a big JPEG, so you can really look at the detail. I mean, I'm almost tempted to measure my screen. That's how particular I want to be. I'm just holding a piece of paper. So if it goes like that tall... Wait, I can't do it like this. This tall. And then this goes this tall. So they are the same. They're definitely the same. The lower level to the next level that I'm building. So what does that mean? So how tall is the lower? So the problem is this. How do I count this brick? This sloped one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the dilemma. And then I have this other brick here. And according to the model, it's like in between. So I just have to make an artistic, you know, creative license here, decision. And sometimes it's I'm being a little particular. I mean, I'm being particular right now, but I would rather spend a minute being particular now than like build up level 2 and say, you know what? I should have did it. I should have spent more time thinking about it for a second. You know what I could do? I could just start, I can put the next level. Now, the next level is a kind of a beefy outcropping. So let me just do a quick test. That's always what I do. If I'm really in a dilemma, really in a bind, and I can't decide one way or the other, I will build it out. And it's so easy to edit and undo your little test builds. Oh wow, this is interesting. I have yet another dilemma. To go in or not. I'm going to go in here. Let me just test this outcropping. I have 2 decisions to make. How high I want this thing to go. Oh, it's not like this. It's going to be just like... it doesn't really stick out though. Darn it. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do this. It doesn't really stick out. I mean, it looks like it does. I might just put it anyway. It's subtle enough. Decisions, decisions, decisions. That's actually fine. That's pretty subtle. I'm going to leave it like that. It looks pretty true. Yeah, it looks good. Now, is that the height I want? Okay. I think I kind of just figured it out. This kind of level is equivalent to this kind of level. So it's 4 here plus 4 here plus this, and then 4 here plus that. So I get the kind of the symmetry I crave. And I think it looks fine, I think. I mean, I don't think it looks good enough. I'm just going to build it out the other way just to make sure I really don't like it, to make sure I really hate it. Now, the other decision I'll have to start thinking about is, do I want to go in one level, like go in one stud, to make the tower yet thinner on this next floor? See, that might work too. Let me just throw on the some of these and get the effect. Actually, it should be like this. Yeah. That looks pretty good too, but I think it's a little tall. It's too tall. See? I mean... it looks too tall in proportion to the lower level below it, so let's just keep it the way I liked it. And that's the beauty of this game. Like, you know, trial and error. It's pretty simple. Now, the next thing I have to decide, am I going to go in? Let me study the model for a half a minute more here. This is really important, you know. This what I'm doing is studying, because I would not have ended up with this amount of detail that I have here so far if I haven't carefully did this. So does it go in a step on the next floor? You know, in this case, I'm going to look at the other model. There's 2 models on this webpage with slightly different angles. It makes a difference. I've been looking at the one of them primarily, but this is the case where I'm going to bring out the other one. Oh yeah, it really does add a different perspective. And I'm satisfied with the height. Does he go in a level there? Does he go? Does he go? Should I? Should I? Should I? So on the next level, there's a series of arches. The thing is, do I want it flush with the level below? Actually, yes, I do want it flush. To keep the effect that the wall is still in a similar place. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Wait, am I? Oh no, because these textured things are supposed to simulate like these ribs or not vines. What am I saying? Ribs or veins that's in the text in the architecture. But they're too small for the Lego bricks at this stage, so I can't use that. So I'm using this kind of the texture on this brick, the vertical up and down texture, to achieve it. But it's really supposed to be outwards. So let me just think again. There's so many optical illusions going on. Let me focus. It's really subtle too, because I think the model maker sloped in at that point. So it does go in, but the question is it enough to justify one whole stud? That's a pretty subtle. I am going to... So if I push that thing out, it'll work. I'm just going to go for it. Sorry. I shouldn't apologize, because that's a critical step of this build process. Studying the model and making decisions when I'm down on that fine detail level. So if I'm going to keep it the same thing, I don't need another step inside yet. I'm not going to shave it down yet. Shave it down, I like that. However, I am going to... Which brick am I using? I think I need to get a little higher. Okay, that works. Yeah, sometimes it takes some time to tune your camera angle. That's good enough. No, it's not. Is it this one or the bigger one? Let me try the bigger one. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's that EverQuest theme coming up. Now, I had to go to EverQuest 2 for the music, because the music of EverQuest 1 is amazing. No question about it. However, it's generated by the MIDI card. It uses MIDI instruments on your sound card, which are so cheesy. Okay, so for this, I can just do this. It doesn't matter. I can just keep doing it. Now, when I hear back that soundtrack to EverQuest 1, it still sends shivers down my spine. It still brings back all the nostalgia. No doubt about it. But to someone who didn't play the game for days and hours and years, they're not going to have that. So I wouldn't offend you by playing something like that. Now, when EverQuest 2 came out, it was such a different animal. And there were other games coming out. It was right around the time, well, it was around the time, I think, was it the same day, or it was like the same like week, it was, or month, or it was really close to the time that World of Warcraft was released. And World of Warcraft just went in a completely different direction with like the cartoony renderings of the characters. You know what I'm saying? They kind of looked like cartoons. The like, I'm trying to think of some of the races. Like all the features were really like exaggerated. The elves, you know, the ears were like out. They were so far. Like the muscles were like really huge. So I'm not knocking it. I mean, it worked. It was a successful game. Obviously, $1 billion industry. But so they went that way, and EverQuest 2 went like kind of the ultra realistic way. Come on, get in there. Where the models and the figures were like kind of stunning, and they were really realistic. And they were saying, okay, we have these graphics cards, and they're capable of legitimate 3D rendering now. So they went all out with the armor. But the thing is, again, it was realistic. The armor was all realistic. It wasn't like over the top. It was subtle. Therefore, it just had an air of realism, which actually I liked, but I don't know, it just lacked something. It just lacked something. What can I say? Is that it? Is that the whole thing? Yeah. So let's drop in a few extra squares. But the sound obviously was first rate. It was, now by that time it's Sony. Sony Interactive, or Sony Entertainment, whatever it's called. I guess it was SOE, Sony Online Entertainment. Does that sound right? They picked up EverQuest. I think they were developing, and so it was big budget, and it was big fanfare, and EverQuest was a game changer. Why am I talking about EverQuest so much? Well, because we're listening to music. I guess that makes sense. But it was big budget, and they could basically do whatever they wanted. And the soundtrack, we're listening to the results of that in the background, and it's a great soundtrack, I think. As I said, the kind of the fantasy genre appropriate. Hey, what's up, Wizard Tom? Nothing much, just chatting. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Cosmic Fox, hi man. Sorry, I should have mentioned I only use controller. Controller. I'll talk about that in a second. Good tip, yeah. I find the controller to be much easier to build with. The only problem is it randomly zooms out, and there's no way to zoom back in. So you just confirmed for me, if you're still here. Thanks again, Cosmic Fox. Thanks for watching. You confirmed for me that it doesn't only happen to me, it happens to you too. So that pretty much means that it's a universal bug. I'm sure it's been reported, and I assume the developer has been made aware of it, and it will be fixed soon enough in an upcoming release. I wish there was a way. There's no way I see in the game to report a bug like that. This is designed for kids, so they're not going to put that in there. Bug reporting for end users. But that, oops, I switched bricks. But that exact experience happens to me, where it'll just zoom out. Now you're right. When I'm using the mouse here, it's no problem. You just zoom out and you're good to go again. So with a controller, I assume you're using like a typical Xbox controller. If you're still there, you can tell me. You can correct me if it's not Xbox, but I think that's most people use. But that's really fascinating. Now I understand using a controller to kind of sit back and relax on a couch and recline in a comfortable chair. I still have a few more. And that's kind of something I can't really do here, which is fine. I don't mind it. I guess I could sit back. No, the reason why I can sit back in a relaxing position. I should breathe. I'm not in this case because I need to stay close to the mic. I am using like it's actually not a standalone microphone. It's like an MP3 portable MP3 recorder, a really good one. It has a really good mic attachment to it. So I'm not using like I'm not using a mic that's built into like a headphones. Okay, so the inside looks fine, the outside looks fine. It does look symmetrical. I am happy with it. But it does take a little bit of going back and forth before I'm really satisfied. And that's to be expected. Now I said there were another series of ribs going up here, but it's so high up, and I'm not going to get bogged down with that detail. Now I did do all those detail down below in those feet, in the base of in the base of this castle. I'm gonna have to kill those guys off, or maybe I should name them. It'd be cool if you could color them so I could know who's who. But a controller, yeah. The only thing is, excuse me, is moving the camera around. That's the biggest thing for me. Like in first-person shooter games, I could never fully buy into, and there must be something wrong with me because millions of people play first-person shooters on consoles, and they swing their camera around with a joystick, I guess, that little thumb controller. And for me, like when it's down, you know, to life and death in a game, in a game like that, it's like you want the advantage as far as I'm concerned, or for sniping at least, you can get just finer control or and faster control with a mouse. So, but I respect that. I respect you for going. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with holding a nice, comfortable controller in two hands, close to your body, in a reclining position, or even better on a couch. You know, looking at a big screen. Hey, I want that too sometimes. Okay, so we did that little rim. Okay, so next we have a few bigger decisions to make. I always look on the outside first. I mean, the outside edge, the outside wing, not the inside corners. I should go get some snacks. I didn't really eat dinner. Maybe in a minute. It's getting a little loud. Chill. This music is from the underground sewers, and the name of the city is Freeport. I remembered it. That music was from the sewers below Freeport, I think. And each section of the game, and this applies to any game at all, I'm sure, any massive multiplayer game, or even single player games. What? That was an accident. Where you grind possibly for hours and you work your way through a dungeon, and there's music associated with it, and then when you hear it again, you have that instant recall. Okay, so for the next section, there's like a flat area, like and some more arches, kind of windows. Oh, you know what? He does that. In the model. So you know, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna board up that level of arches. These guys, I'm boarding them up. He did it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm trying to get the bat. Like, I guess I can't go down easily. That's the one drawback with the bat. So I'm seriously a man, as Cartman would say. I'm seriously. I'll just use this big old thing. I mean, I'll try and be as graceful as possible about it and be as symmetrical as possible about it. I guess there's no real reason to do otherwise. And of course it doesn't fit. Oh, okay, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm being sloppy. Well, what? You know what? The problem now is the bat. So let me just do this, and you have to. He may actually have to go inside. And now go down. Come on, go down. Okay. See, look at that. Does that ever happen to you? Where you hit it once, and he instantly just flops down to the ground. Really annoying. Look at this from the inside. Wow, spectacular. Keep with you. He's going faster than the camera. Pretty funny. Okay, that's a little better. Let's see. Now when I move over to this building mode, can I get in there? Yes, I guess so. Oh, that's awkward. Darn it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it from above. I can't be inside. It's too harsh. Wow, that's interesting. So I'm really kind of glad I've been doing everything from the outside. Let me fix the situation. Let me just get this guy up. If he's a little bit above, it should work. See, these are kind of some of the dilemmas. Let me zoom in. Oh, I should be able to just move. Okay, this is good. This is actually really good. Oh, where's my brick? There it is. That's fine. This will work. I'm flush, right? Yes, I am. So it's here. Yes, it's there. 1, 2. Annoying me, it won't fit. It does not fit. No matter. Actually, do I really have to be that huge? Let me do it even a better way. I don't have to be that huge. Where's my favorite standby? My go-to man, where are you? The old 1x2, really tall one. Yeah, this is what I want. And I could make it... Let's see. I just do it like this. I mean, I could even do it like this. I'll just do it like this. Kind of add some texture and personality inside. Oh, it doesn't. So again, like, I'm just going to leave it for now. And maybe come in and fill that extra brick in later. Now, just getting around here is really problematic. I got to kind of go in and out. Wow. You have to zoom in and combination. Oh wait, before I was kind of coming at an angle. Let me do it again. Okay, that works really good. So here, just start there. Now if I started here, I'll end up short on the other side. Or will I? Yeah, same thing. Okay, let's see if it's giving me the effect I want. Yeah, it is. It is. Wow, looks amazing. Yeah, I don't want those holes open. I mean, the model doesn't, so why should I? For some reason, the model maker filled in, blocked those arches. Or I guess what it may mean is that in the model and in the castle, those are just supposed to be like decorative adornments or decorations to the outside of the structure, and not necessarily windows to the inside or outside. Okay, so we're making progress. How many more times? One more. Final one. Okay, now I'm getting in and out. Getting in and out like that inside the structure is a little tricky. So you know what I should have done? I should have just dropped one of these. Yeah. So darn it. See, I mean, even just using the mouse, I run into issues. So using a controller, it's like, you know, good luck, buddy. I'm just going to drop 4 of these in there. Because, yes, I am, to a certain degree, a stickler for symmetry. Only symmetry. The bricks do not have to match. I'm not OCD. Or whatever that would be called. Where each brick has to be, like, perfect on all counts. I definitely mix and match just to squeeze stuff in together. And I think that's what, if you're really trying to match up everything. I mean, I know so because I do so sometimes. But I really try not to. It's too much. I'm not going to waste all day. Although I just kind of wasted all day just doing that. Oh, the irony. Okay, so we're done with that. So again, above this, we get the arches. Another set of arches. But these times, they're like real kind of archway windows. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. How in the world have you built that? Thanks, man. Hey, big sack in a box. Yeah, let me zoom out. I mean, it's pretty it's getting there. And how'd I build? 1 brick at a time. Look, you basically just have to get the 4 squares on the bottom. And from there you start building out. You just have to get the geometry down from one face. Like I had to decide, do I want it to be 24 or 25 bricks across? And I decided 25, so I'd have an odd number, so I'd have that center single brick. But from there, it's just, how did I do it? I'm following very carefully a model that I found, just Google ORTHANC, and then in Google Images, and you'll probably see the same one. And there's a big, large JPEG that I'm looking at, kind of zoomed in, and I'm approximating the shape of the walls, using the fine selection of bricks that they give me. It's really awesome. This is awesome. So now it's looking like more impressive now that it's so tall already, but when I just first started, it's like it looked kind of dinky. Obviously it was nothing, but I just kept doing one dinky wall section after another dinky wall section. Now granted, some of the stuff, some of the work got pretty, let me flip out of this mode for a second. Some of this got a little bit detailed, and I did start getting a little anal. He always does that. You're not supposed to do that. Maybe I'm just using the control wrong. See, going up, you can hold the button down. Now going down, if you hold the button down, he drops instantly. So you go drop down. So you have to tap it. Whatever. Side kind of sort of like Flappy Birds, but not really. But I spent a good time editing those windows or those archways. So it's a mix of like being particular, following the model. Like I wanted it to follow the model in this case. But that's it. One brick at a time. This is easy. 2 comments really. Number one, there's people who do this with real Lego, who build really impressive things with real bricks. How they source the bricks is just a mystery. Or that many bricks, and how they get the time to do that. This is what I want to do. Is crazy. But number 2, even in Lego Worlds here, even in virtual Lego, there's someone who's outdoing me. He's rebuilding Disneyland, the Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Look at that. It's like a partially dead tree. Or no, it is a dead tree. See, that's pretty good detail. Look right below me. There's one dead tree, and then a fully live tree, and even the colorations are different. Look at that one. Has kind of like the mixed green palette, and this one's just like straight old green. And this one's even different back here. So they put some thought into this game, I guess. I mean, they obviously put a lot of thought in this. So from here it looks pretty no big deal because I zoomed out already. But look, I can go way back here on this mountain, and you see that. Darn, it does that. and when he drops down, he scampers along the ground. Come on, go up. There we go. So we're back here chilling on the mountain, and that's now a major feature of the landscape. And it is about halfway up now. Let me see. So that little teeny kind of archway, let me look at my model, is less than halfway up, or about halfway up. Let me see. It's about that little archway, this archway here, is about halfway up of the main tower structure, but kind of excluding the whole ordeal at the top. Okay, so if you include this, where all I've done past that archway up to here, I'm nearly about halfway if you include the spikes and spires at the very top. So we're making, so it took me a few days, and I'm really aiming to get this done middle of this next week. I don't want it to drag out another week. So if I need to, I'm gonna kind of focus on this hardcore. Now my kids may be walking into the room and running into the room. I may just turn off the mic and turn the music up and bear with me. The thing is that if you're online, what is that out there? Nothing, just probably a tree. You're welcome to join. And you can let me know what you like and what you don't like about these webcasts in the comments. You know, do I talk too much? Do I talk too much about this? Do I not talk enough about that? Do you have questions? Okay, so this is everything's look good. Hopefully you got a good picture. Let's keep moving forward. Yes. Do I play the game often? I'm playing at least once a day for at least a couple hours, and I'm just streaming it. Why not? You know, I can stream it, so I do stream it. So yeah, so go ahead and follow me. Thank you very much. We appreciate that, and at least that way you'll get a little notice, and you can watch. And I ramble about all kinds of kind of mostly related topics about Lord of the Rings, about online games, stuff like that. So let's just build. I'm getting a little tired here, and I think, did we go past 2 hours? No, we didn't. I started at 9, I think, right? So fine, so I'm kind of right on time. Let's just get this next level up, or let's get started. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so kind of another series of archways. But this one time it starts higher. Where's my brick? One of my favorite bricks. Here he is. You're like my favorite. You know what? These arches are a little... Let me put a brick down. This is... I just realized this is not. This is too tall. Let me see. Whoops. And the arches would be on top of it, and they're going to be really thin. So they're going to be something like this. Oops. I can never remember to go up or down on some of these. So in the model, there's 5. So I may stick with that, I may not. So here's the center one. So there's 5. So it'd be like, you can see that already the problem is inherent. Because in the model, it goes, I could live with that, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, what are some other options? Doing it 2. But then I run out right away. I'm short, and then it's just basically... Wait a second. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's this brick. I always forget to put this extra thing down. So it's throwing me off. I was wrong. It's okay. So there's the problem. There's the dilemma. Now what I was doing in other places... So let me just get rid of this guy and put this brick back. What I was doing in other places was making the columns thicker. I might do that again. Take my watch off. Must find my center. My PC just dumped me to Windows. Stand by. I go right back. I just gotta click this. I'm coming right back. I don't know why it does that. I don't think it's Norton. I forgot to turn Norton onto silent mode. Oh, what am I doing? Oh yeah, no, this is right. Let me find my center. Here's a quick little trick. So that's the center one right there. So if we're going to make thick columns off to the center, it'd be like this. Boom. Boom. There's my center. Boom. And boom. Maybe I'll live with this. There's my 5 arches. I guess I'll do that. I can't do it the other way. Now, how... I hear this guy flapping. Do Do I want these two? No, that's too tall. Alright, there's one other decision I'm contemplating. Okay. I'm deciding as I go here. Let's first add an little extra height. Now it's not enough for one whole brick, so I won't use a whole brick, I'll use a flat. I think one should do. I think I'll use this one. Nope. I think this is the one I want to use. Yes. Again, I'm being a little bit of a stickler, but I think it'll pay off. Maybe that's not the one I want to use. No? Yeah, here it is. 1, 2. That's it. And then I'm going to do... This is going to end up to be... Let me just put the little 2 guy in there. So I'm going to go around the corner with the other one. I may as well just put it in there and build around it later. Okay, good. There we go. So that's the height I want. Now let's put in our columns. Start from the middle. Here it is. R is rotate. Generating our little... And this time, they are actual open windows. They're not blocked up. And that's it. I'm going to go for that. I mean, that spacing now. Let me see how high I want to go. It's not going to be one of these. It may just be a single brick. Standard Lego brick. Yeah, that might be it. Or I may have to do plates again. Gummies, I need one. Now, if you're just joining, don't stress out. Don't think I'm going to take this long forever. I have to calculate one side. I have to be happy with one side first. But as soon as I'm kind of satisfied, then I just move fast. Faster. Maybe want to go one more. No, and if I'm thinking that, then that means that height is at least as good. How high do I want this section to be? Actually, I think I may need to go higher. I don't want this section to be too stumpy. It's supposed to be pretty high. It's basically as high as this. Here we go again. You know, there's kind of scales of whatchamacallit. There's just proportions here. Scales of proportion, whatever you want to call it. So this level is kind of was equal to this level, which should be equal to kind of this level. So if that's the case, then actually maybe this is enough. You know, it's kind of a mirror of this, isn't it? It's not exactly the model, but then again, it kind of is. So you know what? Let's just do that. That just answered my own question. That's that. It's that height, which is this height. Is it this? Did I kind of just calculate in my mind? Yes. Isn't that funny how the mind works? I made it the right height. Okay, so that's it. That's going to be the arch. Now, how I'm going to finish it on top, I'll decide that later. Let me do a side. Now, this side is a little... Now, that's interesting. See, over here... Oh, no, I have to do it the same. Duh. Because there's like a stud on top. I can't just graft it. If I graft like the slanted pieces, there's more kind of like trim work up here on this level too. They're pretty simple, so I'm not stressed about it. I just have to... They seem a little longer. And they're a little bit elevated. Okay, I see how I'm going to do it. Let me eat my gummies. I'll shut up for a minute. Oh my god, they taste so good. I needed some sugar. My blood sugar was getting low. So there's that. And then there's the bottom of these kind of chunky... I don't know what you call these things. I have to decide how wide I want them to be. Now here, I guess I'm going to keep them like this. These are 2. Oh, I went 2. Okay, I'll do the same. I'm going to pair it. I'm going to mirror it. See it like how I mirrored there? I'll mirror it the same way, because that's the design. Okay, so if that's the case, look, and I started one, I offset it a little bit, so I'm going to offset it here. So instead of starting here, I'll start here and copy that pattern. That made that really simple and took all the guesswork out of it. That's wrong. I may have to go get some more gummies from the other room. So delicious. I mean, I really should eat some food. Have like a meal. But I'm not going to make you guys wait. I'll finish up and then I'll eat something. You know what? But at this point I have to figure out what I'm going to do on this side too. Let me figure out this corner. Let me take this piece away. Why did I put flat pieces all the way across there? If I know I'm going to do flats, that was kind of a waste. I don't... See, that I will change the bricks out. One, because... Oops, I just took a wrong one. I like to use fewer bricks if possible. There's my piece. Where do I want to put the longer one? I guess I can do the long one here. Now this one's too long, right? Oh, maybe that fits. Maybe I should have been using this. One. See, I love how it just squeezed in there without an issue. Thank you, Lego. Sometimes that doesn't seem to always work, though. Okay, that worked really efficiently. I'm glad I tested that. Okay. So I just needed to know how that's going to come together in the corner. So let me just finish this off. This music's pretty dramatic. I think I like it. Too loud. Okay. So that's it. That's the answer. Just like it is below. I'm just kind of swinging my head over here, checking my model. There's a little bit of variation there in that corner, but for our purpose, it's good enough. Okay, let me just finish off the thought here on the side. And then again, once I figure it out, then I just move fast. So the top of these things end where about the top of this arch is. So this is 3 feet high, so again, the decision is made already before me. I don't have to think it through. It's done. I just have to put it in place. So it's going to go boom, 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 boom. And while I'm here, boom. And then our fun little piece, Mr. Slanty. People call them roof pieces or whatever. Do you play this game often? Yeah, I play it often. This is ironic. I just finished watching the Hobbit movie. The last Hobbit movie. Oh, the last one. With the one with the big army. With the big war. This is awesome. You commentate very well. Thanks, man. That's a big sack in a box. Colorless eye. How does it look now? I'll zoom out in a minute. Peaceful music is very calming to me. Right on, man. So I think I'll stick with that then. Oops, were these bricks off? Oh, no, they're off. The shadows always make me think I made a mistake. But look, it's just a shadow from the sun. There he is. I think I'll stick with this music. This style of music. Like, I'll leave the dance music for other people. I mean, I love music, dance music and dubstep. You know, I listen to that in my spare time, my free time. But it's just too awkward. What did I just do? I need one more. Duh, I jumped the gun. Oh, so if it's 3 high, how high is this thing? Is this 3 high? Oh, this is 2 high. Oh no, this is 3 high. I should have been using this. Wait, right? Okay, what did... yes, because this is offset a little bit. Yes. Okay, I see what I did. So let me hit undo a few times. Z is undo. I'll keep this kind of more thematic music rather than the... What did I just do? I don't want to do that. No, redo. 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 I need to take that off. That's fine. I want to take those off because I'm going to use the nice, easy, long piece. That will just be such... Now, when you're in building mode, removing a brick or deleting it as easy as right-clicking it. So that comes very handy because you're always placing stuff accidentally, and you could always hit Z, but let's say you lay down a whole bunch of stuff and you just catch it later. Right-click, it's gone. So you don't have to remember some strange key combination to delete, or you don't have to hit extra buttons. It's built in. Okay, I just forgot. Oh, I'm going to mirror this, right? Right. And that's it. This is weird, freaky music. Now, in the Lord of the Rings, there are some freaky scenes. Some freaky characters. In fact, they left a lot of important stuff out of the movie. Which is fine. Because, come on. If they would have done, like, a very accurate rendition of the books in a movie, it would have been like, you have to sit there and watch it for 3 days. Not 6 hours. Let me double check it works on the other side. Now, this is one brick I don't have to spin around. Yeah, so this works. For example, do they show the barrows, the barrow downs in The Hobbit? Where they get sucked down, where Bilbo gets sucked down, and he encounters the barrow white. Or is that The Hobbit? That's the dwarves? I'm trying to think which book is that. It's all blurring together. Yes, it's The Hobbit with the dwarves, and they get... I think it's The Hobbit, and they get... I can't remember which book it is. But there's a whole scene where they get kind of sucked down to these underground... I think that maybe they do that in the Hobbit books. That's one thing. That's just a really kind of weird, bizarre thing. But it's kind of a scary scene. I mean, there's, you know, kind of ghosts and undead. There's demons in the movies, in the books. The Balrog that Gandalf slays is a legit demon. You know, that was kind of his rite of passage, I guess you could say, into becoming the White Wizard himself. You know, you don't just... your boss doesn't just quit and then next day you're the White Wizard. Wait a second. Why is this piece... Oh, because that's not supposed to be there, that's why. I use the different piece there. I use this piece here. Oh, and if that's the case, I may want to move this out. It doesn't matter. What am I doing? I guess I just want to put the single piece on the inside. That's fine. I'll do that later. I did that. Where did I do that already? I didn't, but I will. So Gandalf... Wait a second. I still did something funky. It's okay. Let me just work it through. Gandalf the White Wizard. So yeah, he had to slay the Balrog. A hardcore demon. Come on. Who slays demons? But after that, it's like he's legit, you know. He's now the White Wizard. You know, Saruman, he screwed up. He really betrayed everyone. Why am I'm trying to find the perfect size brick here, guys. I like to just do this. Yeah, this is it. It just takes me a minute to find the right one. No, it's not the right one. Because I'm going in. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm getting too... let me just bump down to this one then. I don't care. Just something that I can kind of draw lines a little smoother with. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I started there, right? Good enough. Now for this, let me get rid of that. Yes, Lord of the Rings. Sauron, Saruman, all those guys. It's fun mythology. But you know, Tolkien, however you pronounce his name, he was an Oxford man. He knew his stuff. He was a linguistics, professor of linguistics, so at Oxford. So, first of all, that's not very easy subject matter. Number one. Number two, it's a pretty high-end institution. These are not coming out. Oh, I know what I want to do. Start one in, then I can do it. What? What did I say? Oh yeah, this is what I want to do right here. I just like to get... Maybe I'm a stickler for efficiencies. So I waste time up front so I can save time later. It's kind of weird. Now I'm going to leave this one blank because we do that a different way. Now on this side, I'll go in. That's fine. Okay, oops. Now I'm getting the pattern. For some reason, it loses my lock sometimes. Don't know why. Well, I know why. It's still in beta. There we go. He was an Oxford dude, so he really knew. He knew languages. That's how I was able to create all those mythical languages. Elvish, and yeah, I'm gonna do these right now just before I get crazy. See, I wasn't even thinking. I'll just do it now. I gotta think. I'm getting too carried away. That's what I risk. Yeah, that's okay. Does that work? That works. Yeah, that's perfect. That one was correct. Now this one's correct. That's fine. I'm just doing it the right way. He knew languages, so that's how he was able to do the Orcish and do the Elvish. And mind you, there's different flavors of... Oh, did I start that one wrong? No, I did it right. But it's okay. This is right. This is correct. Okay, so there's my edges. So let's just finish this up. That's right. This is good. Good. I mean, in the books, he did the language of Mordor, you know, the Dark Tongue. This brick, and I can't remember which brick I was using. It was this one. It was the short one, right? Yeah, I can almost see it. No, it wasn't this one. It was a longer one. That's fine. Essentially, the guy was a genius. So he used to meet up with his buddy C.S. Lewis, who was also a professor, I think maybe even at Cambridge. But they were kind of like friendly rivals. And they would get together and they would smoke their pipes. I did this wrong again. It's not this piece. I want this symmetry to work. I'll try one more time. And if it don't work, then I'll just move on. This piece? They would get together. Yeah, it was this one. Thank you. There's pieces that are so similar that are two studs different. And so it always throws me off. There it is. And they'd get together and they'd smoke their pipes. They loved smoking pipes. And they would talk philosophy and maybe a little bit of religion, but mainly like Old English and poetry and stuff. I think they would like read Chaucer or Beowulf, like the epic kind of the epic sagas. And that's how C.S. Lewis came up with, you know, the Narnia series. Let me drop this guy. I'm sure. And that's how, and this one's going to be one off. Who cares? It's fine. Yeah, it's one off there anyway. It really doesn't matter. Like, so now I've been a stickler up to this point, but I'm going to stop. Like, right there. Like, I'm not going to make all those even. So for it's like a single brick in some places, and it's a double brick in others. Yeah, so those guys would get together and probably drink a little bit of, I don't know if they drink beer or some kind of liquor. Sure they did. Brandy, maybe. Or scotch. Maybe probably scotch. And smoke their pipes. And this was, I'm trying to think in relation to World War II. When was this in relation to World War II? I guess this was after World War II. I mean, clearly it was after World War II. It couldn't be before. And it couldn't be during. So it's kind of, you know, in the aftermath. I should look it up. Let me check the feed here. Keep having to come back. Yeah, man. Welcome back, Sir Cheese. I'll zoom out in a second after I read the feed. What else we plan to building? I'm not sure. This might be my one project, but you know, I do plan on kind of fleshing out the whole Isengard area. I mean, the jewel of Isengard is the tower itself, the Tower of Orthanc. But there's like kind of like a garden area and a pathway area. Look, I'll give you the down view. Look at that. It's crazy. Hope you're not afraid of heights. There's like a pathway and some gardens and I think some chains, like a chain link fence, chain rope thing. Not a lot of stuff. If I have trees, I may add some more trees, like in the Fangorn Forest side. I can never say that. That would be to this side. Now, when I place this tower, believe it or not, I did look for an area that kind of matched up with the maps, the legitimate Tolkien maps in Lord of the Rings. So if you look at it, the castle, and of course Peter Jackson and his crew stayed very true to all of the Tolkien maps and all the Tolkien imagery, the original stuff. So it looks in the movie, the tower is sure enough backed right up to like a mountain range. So here's the mountains, and it borders a forest. So I already talked about this in the broadcast, but there might be some new people. So notice how the trees changed and are a little more bigger and more ominous on this side versus the typical like pines on this side. So the area that I picked matches, I think. Look, I mean, that's gray rock right there. It's perfect. Like, I saw this area and I go, oh my God. And there was even clearings. I didn't have to move a tree. I did put the clearing, or I put the clearing around this one tree, and I worked around this other tree, but otherwise there was a natural clearing here. There was another one like down there, but like this was really the spot. Now I could always chop some trees if I decide that they're too much in the way. But that's one thing I hate about, one thing I don't like doing about this game is destroying. That's just me, because I know other people have no qualms about destroying the landscape, but like I like it. And I don't want to have to look at destroyed pixels or bricks missing for the rest of this game. Now, who knows how long I'm gonna be in this game? I mean, I expect I'm gonna be here for the long run. So I don't need this piece here at all. I'm just doing this because on here, yeah. Let's keep going. But I'm gonna be here for the long run. I mean, I'm gonna be. If this is like Minecraft, come on. And if they start putting engines in and like you can design your own vehicles, obviously I'm going to want to stay to watch that and play with that. So considering that, like the way I am, I grow attached to my games. I grow attached to the environments. I appreciate what the game designers did. So, and I like to leave it as is. And maybe that's the way I feel about my Lego games too, my Lego sets. I mean, I don't really collect Lego sets too much now. Most of the Lego goes to my son. But if there's a Lego set I really care about, you know, I'll buy a copy for myself. You know, it's that Lord business behavior, right? And I think as adults, at least I do, I want to keep it the same, and I want to keep it the original format, and I don't want to mix everything up and lose pieces and get all the pieces messed around. But kids aren't like that. Children aren't like that. So am I going to play Lord Business with my little, junior, and get mad at him when he's basically creating blasphemy when he puts, Batman's head. Okay, so he'll put Batman's head on the red Iron Man body. And he'll do that all day long, messing up the characters, mixing up the brands, mixing up the sets. And I just have to smile and laugh and breathe in and breathe out and remind myself that I'm not Lord Business. I'd rather buy the set for myself than tell him, don't do that. I'll come back to you in a minute. Right on. Anyways. You should check your channel more. I so apologize. Tomorrow, I have a little USB monitor. I'm going to put it right down in the corner of my screen. I feel really bad for missing the chat. I shouldn't. I promise by tomorrow I'll be better with that. Welp, if you're still there, or Welf, welcome. My daughter, 6 years old, is playing this on PC with the Xbox controller, and I guess that is a win-win, because for kids, the whole keyboard, mouse is a little hard to grasp, although my little guy gets it somewhat. But definitely not. You know what? That's actually probably a smart idea. I should get him a controller. I have a controller somewhere, but I should just give him like a good style Xbox controller. That is a win-win situation. And people keep asking, in the chat, is this game good, for kids? And look, if they're playing Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Harry Potter, Lego this, Lego that, Lego Batman, well, I said that already, Lego Avengers, it's all that similar kind of experience, right? Where you're walking through the world, smashing items. Now, granted, this is not linear like that. So that, but on the other hand, you can just plop down any world and start moving in one direction, start smashing stuff and collecting coins. Or studs, I should say. Okay, so now, that's funny. I did the outside before I did the edges, which I rarely do. But that's okay. It's very simple. I have to make sure that there's that single flat in there, and then there's just a double and then a single. Let's bang those out right now. I'll come back to those. What else? So that's really cool. Mouse and keyboard. Yeah, personally, mouse keyboard is good for me. Just for camera control. It's just I don't have like waiting to move the camera. I like having instant camera control. Yeah, so I prefer, at least in this instance, I like having the mouse and keyboard, just because like I'm a longtime gamer, so I'm totally comfortable with that. Could you possibly make a hobbit hole or a cave with crystals? I'll come back to crystals in a minute. What Lego sets do you collect? Yes, get mad at him. All right, sounds good. Hobbit hole, maybe. That actually, Who told me that? Wizard Tom, man, that's you. What I'm saying is why I'm reacting like that is because like I really don't want to get stuck with another big build like this. I'm doing this particular build for a particular purpose. Like I really hope it can, once it's all done and I put together a nice little polished 3-minute video and YouTube it and tag it up right and you know push it out on social media. That you know people see. Okay, I gotta put this brick in. And there's going to be a wall here now. Oh, wait. No. Oh, yes. I have to put something there. So it has to be this tall, so it maybe will be one of these guys. Oh, in fact, it's not even tall enough, this guy. Right? That's it. Okay, let me just finish this side up. Shut up for a second. But I got to put the flats in. Oh, that's a question. Wait a second. If there's flats in, I might have missed something. How could there be flats in? I'm off by one. Yes, I am. Okay, no worries. In this game, it's easy enough. And I've already said I won't. I'll do it the easy way. So I'm not going to undo it, and I'll just do them on top. That's fine. I only have about 20 pieces here. I need to add one layer. Let me do it fast. And I'll just talk again. Where am I? Yep, we're good. Just back it up. I just need to add those stupid little... Oh, no. And I'll come back to the discussion. Let me just get rid of these. I got a little careless. I got a little ahead of myself. What the main thing I messed up was I didn't finish all the sides, like the edges. I always like to do that first before I start building out the inside corners. Let me focus. Let me put this piece in. To answer your question. Yes, this. But I have to put a piece in here. Oh, I just realized. I got ahead of myself. Alright, what I may do... No, I'm not going to copy and paste it. You know what? I'm just going to fix it. I'm going to bite the bullet and fix it. You know what I'm saying? Once I realize... Is this... That's right. Once I realize I made a mistake, it's like, do I want to like futz around and try and make up with it later? The reason is I have to take these bricks out because this piece has to be in there because everything has to be up a level. And I don't want to have to worry about putting single little studs in there. So no worries. In fact, let me demonstrate the cut feature. Anyone who's watching this and who's wondering about actually building stuff. So let me go back to your... I remember what you're talking about. You asked me about the Hobbit hole. Doing a Hobbit hole, Wizard Tom. And I really hope I can honor that. Or Cave with Crystals. Or a Hobbit hole with crystals. I don't want to get overwhelmed with another big project. I mean, I'm doing this one big on purpose. Okay, cut and paste. I'm not going to talk it through. You'll just have to watch it this time. Just want to cut and paste. That's all I want to do. I want to cut as many as possible. No, not that one. Let's start here. I'll do it from here. Zoom out. The angling is a little important here. Just do it most efficiently. I could have just individually knocked these all off, but I figured I may as well show you this. So you draw your plane, then you let go, and then you go up or down, and that's your selection. Then you click one more time, and that's your selection. Very powerful. Now to move it, you click this button one more time, and you can move this whole selection. I hate the way my brick is still there. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Now, copying and pasting at this altitude is really buggy and doesn't work. But right now I just need to cut these, right? So cut, delete. So I could have just went do and did them all manually, but this is kind of fast and fun. Do it again. A Hobbit hole. That would be something not overboard. You know what I'm saying? A Hobbit hole is not that complex. That would be kind of fun going in. That would be small. So you know what? That's probably a next project to graduate to. So like all you guys who are kind of following, You know, you have something to look forward to. So there's no, like, there's something else, you know? But it's not as, like, time-consuming and not as a killer, as big of a killer as this thing. Although this is still a pleasure. I'm still having fun doing this. And I think as I get closer to the top, it's going to start getting a lot more dramatic. I mean, the height is going to be really high, way up above the trees. And there's going to be, you know, the tension of it just being close to being done, like this huge, massive structure in LEGO Worlds. Okay, so sorry about that. And by the way, placing all those again will just be really fast work. The reason I needed to get rid of those was because of this. So on the first side, and I just forgot about it, I added a single plate flat to give me a little more elevation, so that's what I have to do now. I have to turn this tool off, get the plate, grab the plate, and do it. Fast, fast, fast. So a hobbit hole is reasonable, I think. Yeah, this will take 1 second. And then I can throw up those square ones really fast too, if I just focus. Now, so if anyone was listening yesterday or this morning, now I can't. All these broadcasts kind of jumble together, and I even have to add them up here too. So let me not forget while I'm up here. And I'm just going to leave it at raw like that, so I don't forget, and I'll come back and edit it. I've been to. Oh, I dropped it. I've been to the Hobbit Hole. I've been to Hobbiton. I've been to the Shire in New Zealand. My wife and I, several years back, before we had kids, we took a cruise actually on Celebrity Cruises, I think it was. Oh, you know what? I want to put the single thing back in the back, not in the front. Around New Zealand. Beautiful country, beautiful place, good cruise, good, decent ship. But come on, New Zealand is just probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Oh, I need a brick there. That's okay. I'll just do it with everything else, yeah. Because this one, I'm putting the bricks on now. It's fine. I think. I may have to come back and change that one. It's alright. But the thing about New Zealand is that's where... What are those shadows? That's where Lord of the Rings was filmed, right? Right. So, ahead of time, like months in advance, actually not months, maybe weeks in advance of our trip, we got on, what was it, TripAdvisor, and kind of scouted around to see what the word was on the Lord of the Rings tours, and sure enough, there was a bunch of things to look at, and we selected one, and it was definitely fun. It was great. Wait a second, I really have to think about if I'm going to keep that like that. Let me just see how far I can get and what difference it makes. Okay, this is, I think, the last one. So anyways, long story short, one of the tours was the Hobbiton tour. The Shire tour. And it was... So what did I do here then? I put it just... So on this one... Yeah. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. We're fine. As long as there's one plate extra. One flat extra anywhere. It will even out. Okay, except I want to put it back there. So I'll start here. Now, on one hand, it's totally cool, like going there, like and seeing the location and the rolling green. Obviously, the rolling green hills are the rolling green hills. They have sheep all over the place. It's a sheep farm. It's a working sheep farm, and they're really like loud sheep, like bah, like it's really loud. Especially the big male dominant ones, they get this really loud, aggressive baa noise. Really kind of fun, really endearing. I don't want to get caught up again and make a mistake. I think I've recovered. Oh, I got to do this piece here. So this is 6. This is an easy one. This is 6, yeah. And that'll be done. That's it. Let's do our columns. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. So the rolling green hills are the same. I'm talking about the Shire in New Zealand, the place, the location where it was filmed. The party tree, if that's what is it called, the party tree? I think it's called the party tree. Is there. They do have a big substantial tree right in the kind of the center of the property there. They build it out and flesh it out digitally, I'm sure, for the movie, but it's just cool to see it. The one kind of little bit disappointing thing is that there's no real the Hobbit locations. The holes are there. They have the openings, the entrances to where the homes were, a few of them, and they have Bilbo's house, the whole opening to Bilbo's house, to Bag End, right? Oh, see, so this one I have to put a stud on. No worries. Or I'll do it like this. I'll put a single and then one on top. It really doesn't matter. As I said, in this one, it doesn't matter because, yeah, there's nothing on top of it. So they have the hole for Bag End, but there's really nothing there besides just a kind of a stark opening, like a mine opening almost. But there's nothing inside. It's just like a square box inside almost. That's maybe 6, 8, 10 feet deep, square. You know, because everything else is like the interior shots. Okay, I forgot one here. Are done obviously in a studio somewhere, I assume. And then all the outer trimmings are not there. Okay, so for here it's going to be this piece. Oh no, I want to do the outside, these ones. The outer trimmings are not there. That's all, you know, brought in by the props companies, and they remove all that. Now the owner said, I'm repeating the story. Forgive me for anyone who's heard it, but these are long streams. So if anyone's heard the story again, I mean, thank you for being such a loyal fan, but I doubt anyone's heard this. But anyways, the owner was saying the next, and this was, mind you, this was after Lord of the Rings had wrapped, but way before they did the Hobbit. No, I'm not. This is not a single break. That's not double. It's single. Before the Hobbit, the Hobbit was negotiated, and and it was unclear whether the Hobbit would ever be made, because I think if I remember correctly, like the story was owned by one company, but the publishing rights and the movie rights or something was owned by, or the book rights and the intellectual property like was owned by one company, but the movie rights was owned by another company, and I forget what the names of the companies were, and it was like kind of an unknown if the Hobbit films would ever be made. Well, we all know what happened. Of course, they were made. I'm not going to talk about The Hobbit now. I'll talk about that later. I'll just say that I think that the Lord of the Rings movies were better for a host of reasons. I think they were fine, but just I'm not going to go into what my critique of it now. But getting back to the story of the Shire in New Zealand, oops. I think his dream came true. And they did come back. Well, I don't know if his ultimate dream came true, and that they left him some set pieces, but at least they did come back and film again some more scenes. I mean, I remember, whoever was watching, you can verify that they do shoot new scenes and new footage back in the exterior shots of Hobbiton and of the Shire. So I went back to this guy's farm and shot new scenes, and obviously it's a windfall for him because he gets another payday. Who doesn't want, you know, Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings crew and Weta Workshops coming in and filming scenes, you know, in your farm, which is otherwise just collecting sheep droppings, you know. But that's the extent of what I know. You know, anyone who wants to do it can Google Shire in New Zealand. I can't remember if it's near Wellington or what's the nearest, like what's the city you have to go to get to it? Like what's the nearest big city? I don't remember. Someone can look at a map. Someone can find it where it is, and hopefully check their website and see pictures of the current state of things. Okay, so let me get back to where I am. Oh yeah, these uprights, the square uprights. Let's bang these out. This is easy work, mindless work, so I can talk more. And once this kind of level is done, well, once this level is done, it'll be the end of this broadcast. But that's not going to take for another 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm with you for a little longer. So someone should click over and see whatever happened to the Shire sheep farm. Hopefully, Peter Jackson and crew were generous enough to leave him some, what do they call that? Trimming? Not trimming. Treatments. Hopefully they left him some of the treatments for some of the Hobbit homes. But, you know, knowing, I don't know, maybe they do things differently in New Zealand, but, you know, just knowing the way things work here, like, they probably would not allow that. I don't know. Who knows? See, that took 1 second. Now, if I could copy and paste it efficiently, I would, but there really is none. There is copy and paste, excuse me. It works good, but only on the ground level. It doesn't, for some reason, it just doesn't work good this high. Someone was saying that I should look into the cut and paste tool. Is this really the right height? Yes. The cut and paste tool, not under the bricks building menu here, but under the world building menu. How there's not the same limitations, like as far as how big of an area you can select. And maybe there's some other cool features to it, so I gotta look into that. But in terms of copying and pasting up at this height, it's a no-go. So that's why I could select it and I could cut it and move it. Thank God moving works well. But pasting it again and again up here just doesn't fly. We'll see if LEGO fixes that. I bet they will. Let me look back at the feed here. That was a long kind of tangent. Is this right? Yeah. Hobbit hole. They need first person. How is everyone? Good. I'm off to bed. See you later. I know, 2:30 a.m. It's only 11:30 here, so it's not even 12 midnight. Great Steam, man. Keep it up. I'll be back tomorrow. All right, big sack in a box. You can't hear it now, but see you later, man. And Sir Cheese is off. I'll be off. I'm playing this game myself. Very good. There's still a few people watching. That's nice. I like to know that I'm not just talking to the ether here. I really do enjoy this new mode of entertainment. This thing called YouTube, this thing called Twitch. You know, as opposed to traditional television, to tell you honestly. Now my wife, she's into all these shows. I mean, she's really into all these shows. She DVRs everything, and it's too loud. But I just can't buy into it. Some of the reality shows I like. To tell you the truth, I like the ones like the what is it? Deadliest Catch, the dramatic, you know, these, or the lumberjack guys, the logger ones, or even the American Pickers, or Pawn Shop, where they're just kind of looking at interesting objects that maybe have some historical value. Historical value. But like other than that, like I just think there's a lot of garbage on TV. So what do I do when I kind of retreat to my man cave? You know, in my garage I have like a, I don't know if any Europeans are watching. Americans, we call it like a man cave, a little spot in the home where the male can retreat to to do male stuff. Whatever, smoke a cigar. I drink tea and I have my vape, you know, or have his tools. Really, I mean, usually it's a place where he can do his work, where he has his workbench. So I actually have that too. I have a serious workbench out there with some serious tools at this point that we're using for this little side business that we're in the process of launching. We're developing a project, but I'll talk about that later. So we have a man cave. So what am I watching out there in my man cave while I'm drinking my mint tea and playing on my laptop or my iPad? And what am I watching in the background? YouTube mostly, and more now stream stuff. I keep calling it stream. It's Twitch, and I enjoy it. I like it. There's some guys on YouTube. Even the big popular guys with 200,000 followers. I mean, there's guys with even more than that. Oops. 150,000 followers or subscribers, and I what's the word? Not proud. Maybe I am proud of them. These kids, who are 19, 20, 21 years old, maybe 22, 23, 25. putting up YouTube videos every day. Excuse me. You know, participating in YouTube's partner program, got their monetization features enabled, and are probably living off their YouTube channel. And that's so sweet. The thing is, it's entertaining. So they should make money off of that. How did you, if you had an idea for a TV show back in the day, you had to know someone, first of all, in Hollywood. You had to be close, or you had to send in a script, and usually nine times out of 100, or I should say 99 times out of 100, or 999 times out of 1,000, nothing would happen. You'd get no response, no nothing. In the old days, maybe they sent you a form letter response. Thank you very much, but we're not interested. But that was it. And so, what do you do if you're a creative type and you have a passion for television? Oh, come on, you want to entertain people, and you have a talent at it. Okay, here it is. Sometimes it takes a minute to recover, figure out what happened. You were stuck in some dead-end job, doing something you didn't really want to do. But with the internet, with YouTube, with direct consumer, B2C, the same thing with music, or art, or anything really, or just raw YouTube talent and personality. If you have a personality and a good voice, and you have a decent computer and a webcam, you can live off that. And so I'm totally happy supporting those guys and subscribing to them. And I mean, I'm not at the point of donating to them, but look, when I see a commercial running on their station, and it's a 30-second or even a minute long, or even a 2-minute commercial, in some rare cases, if it's a channel I really appreciate, I'll let it run, because I believe, as far as I know, now they may have changed it recently, but I think it's just what I was reading was people comments who didn't know what they were talking about. Okay, so now it's time to flush this up, and this does not work. Unless... Oh, wait. It does work. Wait, let me think. It can work. Because we are going one more brick... Wait. You know what? Wait, I'm here in the corner. This is the corner piece. No, this is the corner piece. So if I am going up one more piece, can I put this brick in? Yeah, but it's really going to throw everything off probably. So I'm not going to do it. I will not do this, because what happens is that if I put this little nub sticking up, then when I want to do the layer above it, I'm going to run into this and say, oh, why did I put that there? Okay? So we won't do that. Oh, we're just filling it in now. We're filling in the blanks. Let's start with the easy stuff. Again, the guy asked, how do you build a castle? How do you build a tower that's so huge like this? Breaking it down for one small problem at a time. One brick at a time. Zooming in all the way. Here's another story. Another anecdote. One brick at a time. English teacher. Community college. Santa Monica, California. Okay, so for these ones I can do the double one. English 101, really. Freshman at college. And this teacher was different. I don't want to get too carried away here. This is a cool story. Very cool story. But like when I get too deep into it, I just got to figure out, again, the geometry. So this doesn't work either. That's okay. So what do? Just do... Okay, but actually that probably means 2 of these will work. 1, 2. Okay, so let me just do some mindless brick building here. I can tell a story about... I'm not going to reveal his name. That's too personal. But this guy was different. He turned me on to so many important things in life. Thich Nhat Hanh, Zen Buddhist master, taught me about mindfulness. If you want to learn about Zen Buddhism and the concept of mindfulness, look up this guy, Thich Nhat Hanh, or Thich Nhat Hanh. And you can totally butcher his name when you're spelling it in Google, but his name will come up. And unfortunately, I don't know if I hope he's still alive, but the last time he checked, like, I think he's recovered a little bit. I hope he's better, but he's pretty old. I think he's in his 70s or 80s. He lives in France, in some suburb, I forget where. He's really an important figure to the Western world in that he like kind of popularized mindfulness and Zen Buddhism. He wrote like a bunch of really beautiful, amazing books. Why am I going into Thich Nhat Hanh? Because this was just one of the many things I was introduced to by this really wonderful teacher. Okay, so how does it relate to Legos and bricks? And how do you build a castle out of bricks? And this is the analogy. So he was talking about a student one time who was just having trouble with a writing assignment. Right? Like, what happens when someone who's in school, whether, you know, when you're in high school or in university, and just writing doesn't come naturally to you? Because it's difficult, and it's a little bit of a talent. And I suffered from this at certain times in my life where I just didn't know what to write. What do you say? I don't know what to say. I mean, I read the book. I paid attention to class, but what's my opinion about the matter? I don't have one. And maybe that's just because you know, as a kid, I just wasn't sophisticated enough or thoughtful enough to have a voice of my own to be able to just write a paper from scratch, you know? I guess that's what you kind of start with plagiarizing. Not really plagiarizing, but you copy and paste other people's ideas and you change around the words so you're not plagiarizing. But eventually, just doing that, you learn how to read and you learn how to write and you learn how to organize the ideas so that when you do have an original thought. Okay, I'm getting away from the story. So anyways, he was telling us about one particular student who just was having trouble and he just couldn't start the exercise. It was an assignment, or they had to write a paper. And he said, Mr. D, I'm not going to give his name. Mr. D, I'm having too much trouble. I don't know what to write. And he goes, well, what do you want to write about it? What do you like? You know, I guess that was the first lesson, was pick a subject you're passionate about, okay? Fine. He was interested, or she, I can't remember, was interested. Oh, I'm hitting shift sometimes. That's changing my shift lock. I gotta be careful with that. Yeah, when you tap it, it changes it. When you tap it and hold it down to actually engage it, it doesn't switch it. Now I finally figured out what the hell I was doing. Okay, so he said, but Mr. D, so the guy said, well, what are you interested in? And I said, well, architecture. I'm interested in architecture. Fine, do a paper on architecture. And he went home that night. And he came back the next day, frazzled and frustrated. And he goes, okay, well, I did some research. I found some books. I read up on this subject, but I don't know where to start. He goes, okay, well, okay. So, and he sat down with him. He said, well, what about architecture? There's so many subjects. And he goes, well, why don't you